In the beautiful village of Izii, there lived a young woman named Adana. She was known throughout the land for her beauty, grace, and gentle heart. Her skin glowed like polished bronze, and her eyes sparkled like stars on a clear night. Adana was married to Kolechi, a man whose love for her was deep and unwavering. For 5 years, they shared their lives in peace and happiness. But a shadow loomed over Adana's joy. She could not bear children. In Izii, motherhood was seen as a woman's greatest blessing, a sign of divine favor. The villagers believed that a woman's worth was measured by the number of children she bore. Because of this, Adana suffered greatly. Although she and Kolechi loved each other dearly, the whispers of the villagers grew louder with each passing year. Every morning at the riverbank, the women of Izii gathered to fetch water and gossip. Their laughter often turned cruel when Adana passed by. "Look at her," sneered Neka, the mother of 6 strong children. "So beautiful, yet her womb is empty. What a waste." Another woman, Ifinanya, would add, "Maybe the gods are punishing her. What good is beauty if you can't give your husband a child?" Adana kept her head high, pretending not to hear, but inside her heart was breaking. Each word cut deep. When she returned home, loneliness and shame would swallow her whole. Kolechi, ever the loving husband, would take her in his arms and whisper, "Don't listen to them, my love. You are more than enough for me. The gods will bless us in their time." But not everyone shared his patience. Kolechi's mother, Mama Kolechi, was a harsh and proud woman. Her disappointment burned hotter each year. "You've been in this house for how long now?" she would snap. "Still no children. No grandchild to carry my name. What kind of woman are you?" Adana would lower her head in silence. She had prayed at every shrine, made offerings, and begged the gods for mercy, but her womb remained empty. One day, after a particularly cruel argument with Mama Kolechi, Adana ran from the house, her heart shattering with pain. She wandered into the thick forest beyond the village, tears streaming down her face. As the sun sank and shadows deepened, she found herself at the foot of a great ancient tree, the Forbidden Tree. The villagers feared it, for they believed spirits lived within its roots. But Adana was no longer afraid. She had nothing left to lose. Falling to her knees, she cried out, "Great Spirit of the tree, please hear my cry. I have been mocked and shamed because I cannot bear a child. If there is any mercy in this world, bless me with a child. I am willing to do anything." At first, there was silence. Then, from the shadows, a soft voice answered. Adana looked up to see an old woman dressed in flowing white robes, her silver hair glowing in the moonlight. Her eyes held the depth of ages. "Who are you?" Adana asked, wiping her tears. "I am the servant of the tree," the old woman replied. "Why do you weep so bitterly?" Adana poured out her heart. The old woman listened quietly, then said, "You think a woman's worth lies only in bearing children. Yet I see great kindness and strength within you. Still, if your desire is true, there is a way, but the path will test your heart." "I would do anything," Adana said earnestly. The woman pointed deeper into the forest. "Follow this path until you reach the heart of the forest. There you will find a tree like no other. Take a single leaf from its branch and return to me." Adana followed the path through darkness and whispers of unseen spirits until she reached a clearing bathed in silver light. In its center stood a tree whose leaves shimmered like stars. She plucked one leaf, but as she turned to leave, a voice echoed through the forest, "Beware, Adana. The gift you seek comes with a price." Trembling, she hurried back to the old woman. "You have done well," the woman said, taking the leaf. "Now, plant it in your garden when you return home. Tend to it daily. It will not grow like an ordinary tree, but through it, you will find your path to motherhood. Be patient." Adana thanked her and returned home, filled with hope. She planted the leaf and cared for it each day. Weeks later, a small sprout appeared. But it twisted into strange, glowing shapes unlike any plant she had ever seen. Each night, Adana dreamed of a little boy with bright eyes reaching out to her, calling her mother. But when she tried to hold him, he would vanish. The villagers soon noticed the strange plant and began to whisper again. "She's turned to witchcraft," they said. trying to trick the gods. Even Mama Kolechi grew fearful. "Destroy that thing before it brings a curse," she warned. But Adana refused. Deep in her heart, she knew the plant held her destiny. One day, as she tended the plant, it began to glow with a soft golden light. From its branches hung a single fruit, golden and radiant like the sun. That night, the old woman appeared again in her dream. "You have done well," she said. "This fruit holds the essence of life. If you eat it at sunrise, you will conceive a child, but know this, your child will not be like others. He will be a blessing, yes, but his destiny will be tied to the spirit world. Raise him with great care." Adana woke at dawn, her heart trembling. The golden fruit lay before her, glowing faintly. She hesitated, thinking of the warning, but her longing for a child overcame her fear. She whispered a prayer and ate it. Warmth flooded her body. She knew, at that moment, that something within her had changed. Weeks later, Adana discovered she was pregnant. Joy overflowed in her heart. Kolechi rejoiced, and even Mama Kolechi softened, blessing her with songs and tears. When the baby was born, he was perfect, his eyes shone with light, and his laughter filled every corner of their home. They named him Obioma, Good Heart. But it soon became clear that Obioma was no ordinary child. As a baby, he could calm storms with his giggle. Flowers bloomed wherever he played, and animals followed him as though he were one of them. The villagers began to revere him, calling him the spirit child. Adana's joy was mixed with worry. The old woman's warning haunted her. What did it mean that her son did not belong to this world alone? When Obioma turned 5, Adana took him to the great tree and called upon the spirit again. The old woman appeared, her voice gentle but firm. "Your son's gifts are great, but his purpose is greater. One day, he will have to choose to live among men or to serve the spirits. You cannot make this choice for him. Must he leave me?" Adana asked, tears in her eyes. The old woman touched her shoulder. "Perhaps. But remember, he belongs to the world, not just to you. Be strong. Love him well, for your love will guide his path." Years passed, and Obioma grew into a wise and powerful young man. He healed the sick, spoke with the wind, and brought peace wherever he went. On the morning of his 18th birthday, he came to his mother and said softly, "It is time, Mother. The spirits are calling." Adana's heart ached, but she smiled through her tears. "Go, my son. Fulfill your destiny." As the sun set behind the great tree, Obioma walked into the forest, glowing faintly in the evening light. The villagers say that from time to time, when the wind rustles through the leaves of the great tree, you can still hear his laughter. And so, the story of Adana and the child of the great tree became a legend, a tale of hope, sacrifice, and the unbreakable bond between a mother and her child. This story teaches that true love, patience, and faith can bring forth miracles, but every blessing carries its own purpose. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring tales like this. Until next time, may your faith be strong, and your heart, like Adana's, be full of light.